What's up, guys? I'm deciding to make a prediction video. I tried last time, but the thing was bugging up. But I'm gonna do some UFC 232 predictions. We're gonna go throughout the main card. Um, I could talk about the prelims, but I feel like the main card is the most important card, the card that people really, really care about. And overall, it's a great, great, great card. You got Michael Chiesa versus Carlos Condit. You got Chad Mendes on that card. You got Cyborg. You got John Jones, Nunez, Gustafsson. It's a great card overall. Thinking about the fifth fight. It's the fifth fight, but yeah, it's Chad Mendes, Alex Volkanes. Then it's Carlos Condit versus Michael Chiesa. Then it's Nunez. Oh man, I forgot about the fifth fight. Let me Let me see if I can find the fifth fight. I'm gonna go check my PS4. Come on, come on. Yeah, but yeah. Just to go until I find that fifth fight. Um, talking about awesome things that they're doing. For instance, Michael Chiesa going to welterweight is a really great decision. I think since his last fight against Anthony Pettis, he looked like a great grappler. He just got caught in a really really good. I think it was it a triangle he caught him in or an armbar, but it was Anthony Pettis got a lethal guard, man. It's a guard you really don't want to mess with. That guy will submits people, man, and he's a high level dude, man. And I think he probably would have been. Honestly, man, I think he would have gave Khabib some problems if he had ever fought Khabib on that 223 card when 21st got his leg hurt, but Al fought him instead. I think Al's more of a defensive grappler. Yes, he's he talks about how good of a wrestler he was back in the day, the heart that he went through, but I've seen more of a he uses his grappling to stop offensive grappling like takedowns and double legs and singles. That's what I've noticed from him. He's not more or less of a guy that imposes his will. I think he's more hands ridden than anything else. Um, Man, they're showing us the conference. Yeah. By the way, I saw the some of the fight pre-fight press conference. I thought the first one, Gus won. I thought maybe the second one I'll give it to Jones because of the comment he made about Gus getting knocked out in front of his people, which was lethal. I'll give him that. But but I'm not here to judge these fight press conferences or whatever pre-fight press conferences. Oh man, these people are ridiculous. Usually Google they have the whole entire card, but now I guess the UFC is making me go on their website. It's gonna take forever. But so Carlos Condit is coming off of I think two losses, right? He lost to Alex Oliveira, and what was his last fight? Was it Neil Magny? I don't know. I'd have to check, but you know he's been going through a rough. So both of these guys have been going through a rough patch. He basically got kicked out of the rankings too, Carlos Condit. So, they've been going through a rough patch, and I think both guys have something to prove in this fight. I think Condit wants to win, and Chiesa wants to. Chiesa was in the top 10. He was I think the highest I saw him was at number 7. So he was a top guy in that division. And I did give up a lot of things going up against Kevin Lee. He got smashed in that fight. Like I know a lot of people, consider it, there's a mistake by Mazzagatti, but man, Kevin Lee was breaking that kid. Um, what else? You know, if and then you look really good against Anthony Pettis. So that's all I can really really say about Chiesa, but It really it doesn't matter necessarily for me, um, where Chiesa goes, but I really would like to see Chiesa at welterweight. He's a big boy, and I think he can do big things in that division. And I might give and Carlos. I think his time is up, and the war he had with Robbie Lawler. I thought he won that fight, but it's just for me. I've noticed it's been downhill for him, and I think it's gonna continue going downhill for him. And he just keeps on. It's just it wouldn't be his night. But he can catch him, so it's 50-50 what goes with this. But oh my god, yo, all right, this is ridiculous. They won't even give me the card. Yeah, this is ridiculous. And Chad Mendes is fighting Alexander Volkov. Last time I saw him fight was on 221. Yeah, he looked good. You know, uh, pe- people are hyping him up. I don't see it necessarily, for me, but I don't know. It depends on how you see the fight going. For me, I think Chad Mendes is just gonna smash the kid. He's gonna impose his wrestling, and he's a heavy-handed wrestler. He knocked people out. What he did to Miles Jury was fucking out of control, man. He knocked that kid out. So Chad, I think, he's oh man, him versus Max Holloway is a great fight, and he's been at that top spot. He's lost all three. Uh, he did. In my opinion, I thought he won the second fight against Aldo. He just got caught up with Connor, man. He was doing really good, but he just got caught. And honestly, there's nothing you can really do about that sometimes. Oh, that's it is. Ilir Latifi versus Corey Anderson. That's one of the fights. Okay. Oh man, I love Corey Anderson. I think he has a lot of great, potential. He looked really good against Glover Teixeira. But I'm sorry, Corey. I think it's Alir's time. Alir is a tank. And I'd be shocked if Corey beats Ilir Latifi. Ilir Latifi has great wrestling, and he's just out of control strong. But I'm going Ilir Latifi. I'm also going Chad Mendes. Um, I'm going Michael Chiesa. And for the two title fights, you got Chris Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes, and John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson. These are tough fights, man, to pick. Because, the Cyborg and Nunez thing, I was talking to my friend Jalen. He's a huge Cyborg fan. And he just said it simple. And he does not like, Nunez because she beat up Ronda. But the thing is, he made a really good, valid point. Nunez has great punching power at Bantamweight. But Cyborg is just a bigger and badder version of her. Same thing. What happened with Roy McDonald versus Gegard Mousasi? Roy McDonald is a great fucking fighter, but Gegard Mousasi, and I don't think he gets enough credit, is a great fucking fighter himself. Just a little better than and bigger, you know, in terms of just his size. So people would go lean Chris Cyborg, and I understand that, but I have a feeling that Nunez will beat her. It's just a feeling that yeah, she will beat her. I don't know. I prefer, and and Nunez is a very underrated grappler too. She's a very underrated grappler. So I'd like to see how she imposes her will against it. She's talking about a second round submission. That's a really, it's like a big claim to say about someone like Cyborg. So it's crazy. She said it on the Matt Serra Jim Norton show, I think. Then you got John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. I thought Alex beat him in the first fight 3-2, all three rounds for Alex. But at the end of the day, they gave it to John. And what John did with that is he fought Glover, then he fought DC, and then he got a hand of run. Basically, a lot of bad things started happening for him, and he just started acting up basically. And Alex, He beat Jimmy Manuwa, Juan Balkovich. You know, in that time, guys that are Juan Balkovich is like ranked number 4 in the division right now, and you know that's a tough guy. Jimmy Manuel has fallen a little bit, but at one point he was number 2 in the division. So he's beating top guys in his wake, but he did get knocked out by Anthony Johnson in his hometown, and he lost to DC in a very close fight. By the way, I know a lot of people didn't watch that fight, but it's an amazing fight. It is as good as Jones versus Gustafsson, but it's been a rough road for him. And when he fought Glover, both guys had lost to Anthony, and we'd see who would be the better guy. Yes, and they were both first round knockouts. The Glover versus Johnson one was quicker than the Alex one, but it was a situation where, in my opinion, Alex had everything to prove, and we would see his character. And in that fight, that fight alone is the reason why I think Alex is gonna beat Gustafsson. I understand John Jones knocked out DC. I understand that, but I see it. Here's how I see why he knocked him out, and in my opinion, I think DC made a fundamental mistake of slipping. You know how you slip a punch. I saw him. He was getting very hit up in the legs and the body, so he decided. When he saw his punch, he decided to slip and he was careless and took that roundhouse kick to the head. And that's why I think he just got caught. I don't think. And yeah, he did beat him. I'm not taking anything from Jones, and I don't think Jones has like intentionally took steroids or whatever. I'm not on that bandwagon. I'm not necessarily a fan of his, but I do know and I do think DC got caught in that fight. He didn't necessarily got beat. You know what I'm saying? Like John Jones didn't like if you look in those first 2 rounds, it was a very competitive fight. So John in this fight, I want to see what he does to Alex, but I haven't seen improvement from him uh, since the DC fight. I haven't seen his training videos. I haven't seen anything. So I don't know what Jones is going to bring to the card, but I think Alex, in my opinion, I think he beats Jones, man. I really do. It's 15-month layoff too, and Alex hasn't been as active. That is true. I will give that. That is true. But I really do think Alex does beat Jones. Man, he looked amazing against Glover. What else do they have on the card? Oh man. Oh yeah, BJ Penn versus Ryan Hall. Megan Anderson versus Kat Zongo. And Andre Arlovsky versus Walt Harris. Oh, that's a fucking fight. And you got Uriah Hall in there too. Curtis Melinder, that's a fucking superstar right there. Curtis Melinder knocked out fucking Thiago Alves. Oh man, Uriah Hall, he let us down, but you know, I'm pulling for him. BJ Penn, I'm always pulling for my boy BJ. Megan Anderson, I thought she had a lot of potential, but Holly fucking taught her a goddamn lesson. So I might go Kat and Zongo, and then man, Walt Harris is a beast. He's a beast. He's a fucking knockout artist. But I'm going Andre. I think Andre beats him because I don't know what the betting odds are, but they probably got Walt Harris as a fucking favorite because I think Andre's on. Is he on a losing streak? I don't know. I do remember him beating Stefan Struve recently, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like what can you do? What can you do? Whoa. But yeah, that's it for my predictions, and see you guys, man.